Happy Friday, friends, and thanks for being with us on ABC24 Weather Impact. Now it is the show that is all about weather. We appreciate you being here. I'm Chief Meteorologist Trevor Burchett. We are here every Monday through Friday at 6:30. So if you want the deep dive into the weather forecast, this is the place to be. We tell you what's going to happen, but we also talk about why it's happening, and we get a little bit more into the nitty-gritty of stuff. So if you enjoy the weather, I think you'll like this show. We always start out with what's happening here locally and close to home right now. So we got to start out with our current radar, where we are finding some pop-up showers and thunderstorms off and on through the day today. We had a really heavy downpour at about 1 o'clock in Memphis. We've had storms continue kind of off and on around the area through the day today, and a couple of more are popping up. I think this is possible through at least 8 or 8:30. Usually when the sun sets, these storms lose a little energy and they fizzle out. But at least from now through 8 or 8:30, there still could be some pop-up storms. Now, they're not going to hit everybody. These are going to stay pretty isolated, but there's a couple of storms that are still moving around the Mid-South. Heaviest storms at this moment are actually up to the north of Memphis. I'm watching this little cell that's been coming through Lauderdale County. It actually passed through Tipton County as well. North of Ripley, just knocking on Dyersburg's door. So this is all moving to the north. So Dyersburg, you're going to get some rain here in the next probably 10 minutes or so. You see that storm kind of trucking its way off to the north. Also got a little cell over Brownsville. Not as heavy of rain as what's coming into Dyersburg, but still a little shower there in Brownsville. That's coming into Crockett County, and then a little cell there in western Madison County. None of this is severe. These are more than just those typical summertime pop-up storms, but just because they're not severe doesn't mean they're not heavy. Got a couple of little downpours in Mississippi County, tiny but mighty, so they are coming down at a pretty good clip. And then we've also got probably what I think is one of the heavier cells right now is over in Crittenden County. Earl parking along Highway 64. Very heavy rain and likely a good bit of thunder and lightning associated with that as well. You see about 65 strikes there just in the last 10 minutes. So probably some loud thunder as well. We just heard some loud thunder a bit ago here at the studio from this little cell that is right there at about Highway 64 and Interstate 269 toward Eads. A little downpour there, and then some heavier downpours through Fayette County as well. And then as we move down to the south, don't want to forget about you down in North Mississippi. Mostly dry at this moment, but there are a couple of little sprinkles in southern Quitman County and then a few in Lee County, Arkansas as well. So again, it's not raining everywhere, and not everybody is going to see rain for the rest of the night, but these pop-up storms will continue off and on through, I'd say at least about 8 p.m. That's when I'd be aware and watch the radar. Of course, you can always keep an eye on the radar and what's going on. Even if we're not on the air, you can check the radar anytime you want. Just scan that QR code that you see right there on your screen. That's going to take you to our app to download for your TV. So if you have a Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, Samsung, any of that, if you can put an app on your TV, we have an app too. You can watch our broadcast anytime you want, or again, you can just watch the live radar right there on your own. So again, that QR code was where you were going to scan. But if you missed the QR code, you can also just search up ABC24 in your app store, either on your phone or your TV. So again, over the next few hours, rain chances, they are going to continue to come down. So these storms will fizzle out by 8 o'clock, and then I think the rest of the night looks dry. It's going to be muggy tonight, though. It was muggy last night. Temperatures only dropped to about 71 degrees, so it is going to stay very humid overnight tonight. Partly cloudy and a very low chance of just a couple of sprinkles. Now, tomorrow is where things are going to start to change a little bit. I think we have a little more sunshine tomorrow, at least some peaks of sun. And we are also going to be more on the dry side. Very slight chance of a sprinkle at some point, but I think the odds of any significant rain tomorrow, very low. Again, we actually see some sun. It is going to be very muggy and very hot, though. High temperatures in the mid-80s. Look at this, 89 in Helena, West Helena, 87 in Marked Tree and Earl. We'll get to 87 in Oxford and Ripley, Mississippi, 86 in Corinth tomorrow, also in Selmer, 83 Dyersburg, 87 in Covington, and 88 in Millington. So it is going to be very hot, very humid, to the point that our heat index actually starts to climb. The dew point is so high that the humidity increases, and it's going to bump up that heat index, that feels like temperature, to about 92 degrees tomorrow. So it is going to be a day that it's just a little swampy, a little muggy. And again, the sunshine going to make it feel hotter. Rain chances slim to none this weekend, so it will be a nice break from these pop-up storms, but it is going to be very hot. 86 Saturday, 88 on Sunday, so heat index even higher, and I do think we actually see a little bit more sunshine for Sunday. Now, rain chances are low this weekend. They're not zero. They're at about 10 to 20%, so I still can't rule out a quick little downpour at some point this weekend. It's just a very low chance. So here's the hour-by-hour radar. 9 a.m. looking dry. Notice by the afternoon, there's a couple of showers that pop up. And again, these could really pop up anywhere. This model's just picking one location and firing them up. But it does show maybe one or two little downpours tomorrow evening. But most of the Mid-South is staying dry tomorrow. And it's going to be the same thing on Sunday as we roll through the second half of the weekend. Watch the clock up there. Sunday morning looks dry, but a very slight chance Sunday afternoon of maybe a couple of more pop-up showers. Now, something I will tell you, if you're going to Pickwick this weekend, they seem to be in this zone where those pop-up storms are liking to fire up. So if you're going to Pickwick, you might have a better chance to see those pop-up storms. But here in Memphis, I think it's going to be a mostly dry weekend. A little more sunshine, still some clouds on Saturday, but I think Sunday for sure is going to look a little more sunny. We do stay very warm and very humid, though. Looking ahead to next week, high pressure is going to take control of the forecast. That's our good weather maker. You can remember that because the big H is blue sky. So high pressure kind of puts a lid on the atmosphere. It doesn't allow any clouds or any showers to build up. So through next week, as we roll into June, we are going to go into a much drier weather pattern. Now, I can't tell you it's going to be completely dry. There are still rain chances of about 10 to 20%, but that's much lower than what we were seeing this past week. So I think we're going to see less in the way of those pop-up showers, but you still could see a couple. Humidity on the Muggy meter stays very high through at least Tuesday. We get a little front Wednesday that's going to make it a little more comfortable. So Wednesday is probably the best day of next week because the humidity is going to be lower. But then by Thursday and Friday, unfortunately, that humidity is going to come right back up. So again, we do have some pop-up storms on the radar now. Some are heavy. They should fizzle out by about 8 p.m. And then the rest of the night, I think it's going to be pretty dry. Muggy, though, low of 71. For the weekend, also looking mainly dry. Again, about a 20% chance. So there could still be a quick little 5-minute downpour, but it looks pretty good. Mix of sun and clouds, mid to upper 80s. It's going to be very humid this weekend. Heat index near 90 or 95. Monday is the day I will watch. I think there could be a couple of pop-up storms Monday. Odds are still pretty low, but that's the day if we're going to see a storm. It's probably on Monday. Otherwise, still pretty sunny and hot, 87. And then throughout next week, sunshine, mostly dry weather. It is going to stay warm, maybe a little less humid, but high temperatures still in the 80s with lows in the 60s and 70s. All right, that's a check of your local forecast, but if you're headed out of town, we've got you covered too. Meteorologist Daniel McDonald has your regional outlook right after this.